So this is what it's like to be tall. Wow. This has really given me a different perspective on life. Normally, my view is blocked by all of the other men, most of the other women, some pre-teens, and even once a dog. It was a really big dog, but it was a dog. Wow. But none of that bothers me anymore. Now, I'm short, and I know it. I always have been, and I always will be. So I've learned to adjust and compensate in other areas. When people try to put me down, pun intended, I stand tallish, hold my head high, and then I kick them in the shins. Just kidding. You might say I've been driven to prove myself to those around me. Those who are taller or stronger. If I was like that, I could be a carpenter, or a farmer, or a fisherman, or anything else that doesn't require a booster seat. So I gravitated to one of the occupations where none of that mattered. Finance. More specifically, tax collecting. I figured that if people were going to think less of me because of my height, then they could think less of me because of my profession as well. You see, tax collectors are not people who others admire or associate with or let their children near or like. Tax collectors take your money and give it to the government. In this case, the Roman government, you know, the ones occupying Israel. Not a popular guy. Anyway, I was going about my business of giving other people the business, taking some for Rome and some for me, when I heard that Jesus was coming to town. Now this was a guy everybody seemed to love, kind of like my opposite. Wherever he went, crowds followed him, and they ate up every word he said. I figured if I could even get just a little bit of the love that people showed to him, I could turn it into a tiny little profit. Whatever it took, I had to meet this guy. While the day arrived, the crowds were bigger than I could even imagine. Under normal circumstances, I would have had a really hard time seeing. But that day, forget it. Forget it. Then I noticed this large tree just where he would be walking past. That was it. All I had to do was climb the tree and I'd be set. Hey, can somebody give a little guy a boost? Just a little boost? Very funny. How about a big boost? Now, I have the perfect spot to see Jesus. There was no way anybody could block my view. Then something strange happened. Jesus walked right up to my tree, not by it, up to it. He called my name. He said he wanted to come to my house. He wanted to sit down and have a cup of tea. And he wanted to talk to me. Zacchaeus. Me. No crowds, no trees, just a one-on-one with me. Me and Jesus. Well, I nearly fell out of the tree at that point. Even before he got to my house, I knew that things had to be different. I knew that things had to change. I didn't know what it was about this guy, but I knew taxation, man's got to live, but I could change the way I went around it and about it. I promised him I wouldn't skim anybody anymore. I wouldn't take any extra from me. I would only collect what the Romans asked for. And everyone I had cheated, I would pay them back. 4 times the amount. As soon as I said that, I realized that was a lot of money. That was going to cost me a lot of my personal wealth. But I didn't care. I had a new peace about me, and I didn't want anything to get in the way of that. Not even my money. In some ways, nothing's changed. I'm still a tax collector. I'm still not liked very much. I'm still short. But these days, I'm walking a little taller just because I climbed a tree and I met a man called Jesus. Don't think I'm going to need this anymore.